Hello once again and welcome to the XGen podcast. I'm James and I'm joined today by Liam, Katie and Evan. How you doing, guys?
Doing good, doing good.
Doing well.
Very good, thank you.
Bloody good. I thought we'd start off with a tiny bit of news. I thought we'd just get straight into it. And Microsoft has obviously acquired Bethesda and it's gone through. What do you guys think? What are you thinking? What do you think about the Game Pass situation?
I mean, there's a lot of good games that's been put on there. I think it's got like the original Doom plus Doom Eternal, Skyrim, Oblivion,
Morrowind, yeah.
Fallout 3, New Vegas. A lot of their older games, as well as obviously 76 and that, which is quite good to see.
Yeah, I think Fallout 3 has been omitted. Actually, I don't think that's one of them.
Oh, what has it been taken out?
No, I just don't think it wasn't on there. Yeah, I saw it. They've got Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, and Fallout 76.
Okay, maybe it was Fallout 4 I saw, but
it's a shame, really, because Fallout 3 is, in my opinion, the better one out of all of them. But
oh, really? That's quite.
Yeah, I'm not in charge. I'm not in charge of what goes on. So.
You got Wolfenstein 2, Youngblood, Dishonored 2, Rage 2.
So it's a lot of actually good games on there.
The only problem is, it's a shame because I've played and I have them and completed nearly all of them, and it's when I saw
you've got no desire to go back to them.
But the part of me was like, well, what was I expecting anyway? It's not like I was expecting them to put something brand new on. It was more of a case of, oh yeah, that's good. That's good for anyone who's not played it. I will recommend anybody to play the Wolfenstein series because they're just amazing. I actually ordered a Terrorbilly figure this week to go with my collection. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I played the first reboot game, I guess, the New Order, and I haven't gotten to the other ones, so now's a good opportunity, I guess.
I will always recommend Oblivion. Always recommend Oblivion.
Oh yeah.
It's my favourite Elder Scrolls game of all time.
One of my favourites of all time, yep.
I think Oblivion was probably my first ever game that I played by Bethesda, actually.
Yeah, it was mine, for sure.
Yeah.
And obviously with Game Pass being on PC as well now, it's also a good way for, I guess, mods to be incorporated into the thing as well, which is good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Always keeps people coming back for more with Bethesda games.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just pretty straight to the point, right? I mean, it just probably one of the best deals in video games. Just keep getting better, right? I mean, this is a list of what, 12, 13, 14 games, something like that are all, like, for the most part, like, solid or very good games. I mean, and just I think the amount of time you can put in these games, I mean, the value at whatever it is, $15 a month for the Game Pass Ultimate is just, I mean, so worth it even more now. I mean, Skyrim, you can put hundreds of hours into. Oblivion, the Wolfenstein games are a solid, 20, 30 hours probably. Morrowind. I mean, Fallout 76 was already on there, I guess, but, still that as well. I mean, it's like, I just can't, I mean, you think of a subscription service for $10 a month, you probably think you're not getting a whole lot, but, on top of everything else they already have, like, it's just, it's almost kind of crazy now at this point that it's still this cheap to play all these games as much as you want. I mean, I know they kind of cycle out eventually, but I don't know if their first party ones, like the studios they own, do or not. Yeah,
it's strange though. I mean, I looked through Game Pass a lot, and every time I go through it, there's not been a single game yet for me personally that I feel like I must download that and play it. The only time I've done that was recently, and that was with Dead by Daylight, because I just for some reason had a desire to play Dead by Daylight. I looked at how much it had cost on Amazon, and it was £35. So I thought, well, I don't know if I'm going to like it, and it just so happened to be on Game Pass. That's the first game I think I've downloaded using that service. But it's no doubt at all that it's brilliant value for money, especially with the Bethesda games on there. As you say, I mean, Fallout 4 you could pump a good 70, 80 hours into, and Skyrim I think I pumped into that well over 100 hours alone.
Yeah, even the sense of when there's a brand new game. Sometimes brand new games go to Xbox Game Pass.
All their first party games do. Any studio they own or game that Microsoft like creates, like, they're always going to be on Game Pass day one.
I feel like Fallout 4 has been a game that's been on Game Pass since like the very beginning of Game Pass.
I think you're right. Yeah,
it's always been on there.
Yeah, I think where this is going to kind of go to another level is going to be once xCloud is, out there and kind of is out of beta and it's, a legit thing. And, I know everybody's not going to have like the bandwidth to, really benefit from that. But, as, internet speeds, kind of the average internet speed keeps going up and, as internet becomes more accessible to everybody, like it's going to be crazy. You're not going to have to buy a console. You're going to pay $10 a month for Game Pass and you're going to be able to stream all those games from Game Pass on xCloud, and you're going to be able to play all these games for $10 a month without buying a console. Like you don't need a beefy, PC, you just stream it. And I think that's where this is going to be once that's, out in the wild and that's a legit thing and works well and people who have that internet speed for that, it's a crazy low barrier to get into, the Xbox world or Microsoft.
Yeah, well, I think that's Xbox's ultimate goal in the end, isn't it? Their goal this year is to completely up the subscriptions for Game Pass, isn't it? I think that's one of their things, and I think that it's totally right thing to do. If I probably will buy both eventually. I'll buy a PS5 and an Xbox Series, whatever it is, X. But if I've got the choice of having a brand new game that's going to be on Xbox, come on, I keep calling it Xbox, Game Pass for a tenner.
That'd be a new name for it.
Yeah, if I've got the choice of buying a game for £60 or playing it day one for a tenner a month on Game Pass, then I'm most definitely going to play it on Xbox.
I think a lot of people are going to see that appeal as well. See, for me, if I enjoyed Dead by Daylight a lot, I'd probably have bought the game. I know it sounds really weird, but I'm one of these people that just has to have a physical copy because I don't know. It's just it's true ownership when you've got a physical copy, whereas when it essentially it is because you've got the disc. Well,
yeah, but you only own the license.
Well, but if that game gets pulled,
I know what you mean.
If that game gets pulled from xCloud, you're not going to be able to play it again unless you've got a copy. Yeah. But unfortunately, I didn't like Dead by Daylight well enough for me to pay £35 for it. So it's fine to kind of play on Game Pass.
It's good. It's good to test the waters with certain games. So obviously,
definitely.
like 35 is a lot for a game that's I'm personally just going to say not in the best state at the moment. So, but that's another topic for another day. But but no, that's one of the best things about Game Pass. It is one of the best things about it. Just dipping your toes into a certain game, and if you don't like it, you don't lose anything. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, that's it.
It's almost kind of replacing what was lost when like Blockbuster went out of business, where you could go rent a game and you could spend a couple days with it, and if you liked it, you could buy it, or you could rent it for longer or whatever. Like obviously this is a smaller scale and it doesn't have like every game out there like like places like Blockbuster or EB Games and stuff like that used to, but it's cool that you can just go in and give something a shot, and if you like it, you can buy it. And I also think it helps with indie games too, that people might have never bought for $10 because they have never heard of the game, never heard of the developers. But when it's on Game Pass and you already paid the monthly subscription and it's essentially free, you might download that indie game and give it a shot, and helps those developers and indie devs out a lot too.
Yeah, totally. And the thing is with Blockbuster is if you got there and the game was not there, or it was someone else was already renting it,
heartbreak.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I used to
on
be
a Friday.
I used to be so excited, to go see if there was a game to rent, and it would be in Blockbuster Video you'd have the box for the game, and then behind it you'd have the yellow Blockbuster Video box, and if it was just the game there and not the Blockbuster box, that is it. That's when your disappointment would sink in and you'd be devastated.
Weekend over.
It would ruin your entire weekend.
Seriously though. Yeah, no, I remember that.
But there's already a lot of positivity coming through about the Bethesda deal. I mean, already we're talking. So what you're saying? There's about 7-8 games now that have taken advantage of the Xbox Series X FPS boost. As well. So so you got Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Dishonored. I think I want to say
Skyrim
Prey, maybe one of them. I think Skyrim might be one of them as well. Yeah,
Prey is another game I completely forgot.
Yeah, all being boosted to 60 FPS. So I'm seriously considering installing Fallout 76 again now to give it another chance.
What do you guys think? they said that there are going to be some games that are exclusive to, Xbox and PC. What do you guys think? You think it's going to be like Elder Scrolls 6, Fallout 5, Starfield, or do you think it's going to be more like the next Wolfenstein or Dishonored 3?
I feel like they're big packages, so like, Fallout, Elder Scrolls games. I feel like if they want to do exclusivity, I feel like it will have to be timed, because I feel like otherwise they will lose too much money out of those, because they're such big games that everyone was going to want them. Whereas like the smaller ones, I guess, like I say smaller ones, but the smaller, I guess, IPs in their arsenal, like Wolfenstein or even Starfield, because it's going to be a new IP. They might want to maybe test the waters and make that exclusive and see how it does being exclusive.
I think you're right. I think especially with Wolfenstein's last outing, like Youngblood, which didn't do very well. I mean, I didn't particularly like it. I think you're right with things like Wolfenstein. I think they might keep that exclusive, but then the huge things that like Elder Scrolls and things like that. I think you're right. I think if they kept it just on the Xbox, they'd probably lose a lot. So I don't see why they would do that. So
another thing is as well is I think in terms of exclusivity, you're talking, Skyrim, games like the new Elder Scrolls 6, Starfield, they've already been announced and they've probably already got
already kind of made their deals with like Sony and
exactly.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
So those games are most likely going to be on, the platforms, multiple platforms. What is it? Is it Deathloop?
Deathloop was something else. What is
PlayStation?
Deathloop? I've seen that everywhere, or Loop something. What is it?
That is Bethesda, isn't it?
It's like a roguelike, I believe.
I was going to say it is a game, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like a PlayStation exclusive.
Yes, it is, and I think it is a PlayStation exclusive,
but it's
and apparently and I think they're going to honour that as well, which is
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, good.
But I think anything after that, anything that hasn't been announced yet, like a new Wolfenstein and Fallout.
Yeah. Oh, it's on PC.
I think there's a very good possibility that they may be exclusive to Xbox and PC.
I still got the impression I'm just going off onto Starfield just briefly, because nothing's really been said about Elder Scrolls 6, but it's Elder Scrolls 6, so it is going to come out eventually. But Starfield, we've seen nothing of, and as more time goes on, I know they take a long time with their games, but excuse me, but I just got a bad feeling that at some point they're going to be like, it's cancelled.
Starfield?
I just don't know. It's just it's like one of the big IPs they announced alongside Elder Scrolls 6. But obviously, I feel like everyone's like, Elder Scrolls is a given because everyone enjoys it. It's going to happen. But we've seen nothing, like not even any information drop about Starfield for, feels like
So do you think because
now.
it's a brand new IP, they think that there might be too much risk involved?
I don't know. But it's just, I feel like we haven't heard anything. Not even like little bits from the devs.
If I think now that Microsoft has purchased them, I think it's less likely that it gets canceled.
I mean, they have them behind them now to actually, I guess, give them that.
And that was one
push
of
they need, I guess.
Pete Hines' points, and he was quoted saying something along the lines of, nothing's changing. We're not making any like big changes to anything. We're gonna go about doing what we'd already been doing, but we just have like way more resources behind us now than we ever have. Mm-hmm. And that makes me think that they're just going to be able to dedicate more time, maybe hire more people, and like push forward on those projects. Starfield they've been working on for, was it 2018 that they announced that?
It feels like, it was around the same time Elder Scrolls 6 got announced.
Probably 4 years. They probably started, in 2017 they started development. I would assume they started at least like, artwork and story and, probably not development, but, or whatever you want to call it. So I'd say they're probably far enough along to where I don't know, it might be abandoning a project like that might be more costly than,
They are like one of the biggest developers out there, but they seem to take, some of their games are massive, so maybe it's understandable, but they seem to be the devs that take just years to make a game.
Yeah, the difference is they used to not announce their games like years before they came out. Like Fallout 4, it was the E3 before, and then it came out in the fall, right? Same thing with Skyrim. It was the E3 before, and then it was November of 2011. And now it's like, and 76 was the same way too. And it's kind of weird that they announced,
Elder Scrolls 6 quite early when I don't think maybe they'd even started developing
and Starfield. Yeah, they're saying Elder Scrolls 6 isn't until like 2026 or something like that is their best guesses. Not from Bethesda, but
Fallout 76 just kind of felt like a mod to Fallout 4.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a tie over thing, kind of. But I still wouldn't call Fallout 76 a full-fledged game. But
no,
I think they're just kind of using the same assets they had in Fallout 4.
Yeah, they just kind of up-resed it a little bit, and
I've tried to
like MMO.
But yeah,
I've tried to like it.
Overall, I feel like I didn't think there was any concern that this deal would go through. So I guess seeing the news that it's official isn't like a big shock to me. But I'm still like positive on it. I think it's a good thing. I think Bethesda had started, hurting. I think they were hurting for money, honestly, to support these like Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6, and that's why they were doing things like the monetization and kind of the greediness of like 76 and like the Elder Scrolls Blaze and stuff like that were essentially seems like they were created to be as little effort as possible to make money. And I think it was because they had such a long development cycle for these next two big Elder Scrolls 6 Starfield projects. And I honestly think that them being owned by Microsoft is a great thing. I think they're gonna be able to focus on making those great games and less on trying to keep themselves afloat.
I thought what we'll do is we'll chop it up a little bit. Guys, what have you been playing? What have you been playing this week? Anything interesting?
Well, I've only really been playing one game, actually, and that's Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered. I ran out of things to play. I know you said to, so that's why I went to EA.
It's how you preface that with, I've ran out of things to play, so I've been playing this.
I know that, James, you did recommend us do Leon Kennedy's story for Resident Evil.
I did, didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah.
Death ears that fell, didn't it?
I did start it, but it from the very beginning. I mean, I didn't even give it a chance, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, good.
It just felt like the exact same game. So I got up to the police station. I got up to the police station. I just thought it's exactly the same bloody game at the minute, and I just turned it off.
It is until you get up to. Hold on a minute. Brain engage. Yes, it is to a degree until you kill. If anybody's listening, there is going to be some spoilers, but the game's nearly 2 years old, so pull your finger out your arse and play it. There, up until you meet Birkin, where you kill Birkin the first time.
Yeah,
that's where it changes, because you meet with Ada Wong, and then you end up going through the sewers, and you end up going and meeting Kendo's gun shop.
Oh, okay.
And you go through sewers. Yeah, I won't. That's all I'm going to say. I won't say anything else because I don't want to ruin it for you. But it's definitely worth playing again. There's a different end boss. Okay. There's also a second end boss as well. There's a lot more to it in scenario B. Yeah.
Oh, James, you're breaking my balls. I've got Resident Evil 3 sitting in front of me, and I was going to start this, and now I feel like I need to hold off.
To be fair, in terms of the actual story, Resident Evil 3 is actually set before Resident Evil 2, the first half of it. And then the second half of Resident Evil 3 is then set after Resident Evil 2. So
that's interesting to know.
So if you wanted to, you could switch.
I think people say out of the remakes, right, that people, obviously everyone loved Resident Evil 1. I feel like a lot of people really liked Resident Evil 2. And then it was, I think Resi 3 is the one that's like a bit, people, I think 50-50. I feel like people were quite unsure of.
Could that be due to the length of the game, do you think, James? Because you said it was even shorter than Resident Evil 2.
What are we talking about, the remakes?
Yeah.
The remake for Resident Evil 3 is short. It is short. But I guess it all depends, though. It depends how fast you play it. I mean, when I was surprised how short the remake of Resident Evil 3 was. But yeah, it is really short.
So
it is shortened 2.
I completed 2 in 8 hours. I think it was 8 hours and 50 minutes.
You're doing the same.
Oh, you think I'll do it in the same?
Well, it will depend. If it's your first run through and you're exploring everything. No. Do you know what? If you're doing it first, you'll probably do it in like 6 hours.
Okay.
I'm sure of it. Let me just use my
done in a day.
Imagination. Oh, it'll be done. You can do it in a day. You definitely do it in a day. I've sent to you the other day. I did RE2 in under an hour.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
I'm not sure if I've speed run Resident Evil 3, but I'm sure you could do it in. Let me have a look on Let's have a quick browse on old speed runs.
I've never played Resident Evil 3. I haven't even played the original.
It's good. It's not my favourite. I'm not going to lie.
They are remaking Resident Evil 4 as well, aren't they? That's the plan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one I feel like they got to be careful with. Because a lot of people love it so much.
No, that now poses a big question. Do I wait for the remake of Resident Evil 4, or do I just...
No, play the original.
Just playing both.
I mean, I haven't played Resident Evil, but I've watched my older brother play Resident Evil 4 so many times, and it's still, from my imagination, still looks good today.
It does in some places, yeah. It's honestly, you definitely play Resident Evil 4 the original because it's fantastic.
I think played it on Xbox as well.
Yeah, yeah, it is. You can grab it on Xbox. HD remaster.
I've just finished watching all of the films.
Oh, have you? Yeah.
They're terrible.
Well, so which one is it? What is it?
No, they are. I mean, they are terrible.
They're just not good. I mean,
is that Angelina Jolie or is that Tomb Raider? That's Tomb Raider, isn't it?
Mila Jovovich.
Mila Jovovich, I think her name is, or something like that.
Jovovich.
Yeah. She's only in it because Paul Anderson. She's married to Paul Anderson.
Yeah, he's a terrible director.
Well, yeah. I mean, the first Mortal Kombat film was all right.
Was it? I mean, really?
I liked it.
I mean, a lot of people love it, and it's. Like,
I'm biased though because Mortal Kombat is like my favourite game. So.
I've gone back and watched it, and I
mean, I couldn't watch Annihilation.
No, I don't think anyone can.
Forward to that
I think they use that in sort of torture camps, don't they? That film. No, the new one.
Pry your eyes open with toothpicks and make you watch Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yeah. The remake, the film, the new film that's coming out.
Oh, it looks unbelievable.
I mean, I'm not even into Mortal Kombat, and that got me pumped.
Yeah,
just the end, really the end shot of him making the sword and ice, and it just looks so badass.
It really does. I'm really looking forward to that.
Liam, how's Need for Speed going?
Oh yeah, that's right. Need for Speed.
Oh yeah. So how is that game? Is it good?
Yes, it is actually. I watched a Digital Foundry video just on the off chance it just appeared on my YouTube timeline, and I thought, well, okay. I actually really used to enjoy Need for Speed, and I played the original Hot Pursuit on Xbox. So they did a video comparison between the PS5 and the Series X, and surprisingly, or I suppose it's a little bit unsurprisingly now at the minute, the PS5 ran better. So I bought it on PS4 and just give it a go. And yeah, it's it runs nice and smoothly. It's a good game. It's really fast. There's some bullshit tactics going on with the AI because there's a serious case of rubber banding going on. So you'll be out in front. The car behind you will have a collision, and then all of a sudden, despite the fact that you've been flawless, they'll be right up your ass again within about a couple 2 to 3 seconds. And I hate that. Because if that was the other way around, your game would be over. You'd need to restart the race, So there's a little bit of that, but no. Other than that, it's a really good game. It's enjoyable. It's kept me entertained for the last 2 weeks. I've finished all of the racer levels. So you have two different scenarios, 2 different careers that you go through. You've got the racer, where you just race other people and avoid the police, and you've got the police campaign, where you have to take down the racers. So, whilst you're racing, you get to use different weapons or equipment, I suppose, as it is on the game. So you can lay down spike traps. You can use an electronic magnetic pulse or an EMP to damage the cars in front or a police car. Take out a helicopter. You can block the police's radar jammer, and you can. you've got a turbo boost as well if you're a racer. So
good.
it's you got a lot at your disposal. A lot of different techniques in which you can win a race. There's lots of shortcuts as well, so you don't have to stick to a route. You can take shortcuts, which you can also evade the police if you're the racer, or you can get one up on. You can take a shortcut to get one up on the races if you're a police, if you're in a police car, and then when you're ahead of the racers, you can lay down a spike trap and take them out. It's really good. I haven't played the online mode yet, which is what I want to do next. But it's well worth what I paid for it, which was about £20. So it's something I'd recommend if you're a fan of racing games.
Yep, not me.
I feel like I get at the end. We don't want to go into an EA rank because we did that last episode. But I feel like those are the sort of games that I guess they can do well at.
Yeah,
remakes of old games.
Yes, yeah.
EA, they have a really bad reputation, but they have the capability of producing something quite good, quite special. Amongst their many studios, it's possible. Mm-hmm. It can be done. They just have to make the right decisions.
Oh yeah, that's the most frustrating part. It's like it's all there. You have like the money, you have the time, you have the IPs. It's like. Yeah. You just don't make a good game.
Yeah,
we're moving on. No, we're moving on because we do this every week.
We can't.
Moaning about EA. Right, Katie, you finished Cyberpunk. What's Days Gone like? Is it good?
Well, I just want to quickly just talk about Cyberpunk and I guess my feelings as a whole, which kind of like don't sound too dissimilar to what I was really saying the whole time I've been playing this game, or been talking about this game since we started this podcast up. And no, I finished it on Saturday, and the final mission is quite a big one, quite like 2 hours. I guess if you played it in one sitting, it would be like a 2-hour mission, like something like that. And obviously it's filled with, I'm obviously not going to spoil anything for people who haven't yet completed it themselves, but it's obviously one of those big missions where all your choices, well, I guess the choices you made throughout the game or certain dialogue options you've picked that have molded your character into who he or she is and has become. It all comes apparent in this final mission. It's kind of like, one of those games where, this choice for this early on in the game was, it now comes full circle, if that makes sense, at the final mission.
Did it fare up well for you?
It did. I think I got a happy ending. I got a fairly happy ending, and it's as I said, I don't really want to go too much into it for spoiler reasons, but I'm quite happy with the ending. I've got, I do the old thing of like saving, like doing a proper hard save before I start it, because I'm like, right, if I'm not happy with this outcome, I'm going to reload it and make sure I get the one I want. And luckily, I guess I made the good choices all throughout the game, and my character turned out to be, he made the right decisions, so it impacted the ending, and it made it a good ending. And overall, I had a really good time with it, as I say, despite its flaws that it does still have, but are being worked on, I think, daily. I think it's the big 1.2 patch, the second patch that got delayed because of the cyber attack that happened to CD Projekt Red, is going to be out soon, because obviously they had to delay it. But no, I can't personally say much wrong with it, apart from just the occasional superficial bugs and glitches that I did get, but they didn't really impact my enjoyment. So I guess that's, a game that came out the way that game did come out. I guess I could say I was lucky that I didn't get hit with so many crashes and all this stuff that it impacted my enjoyment and made me want to just quit it and never go touch it again. And I was just going to go on.
No, I was going to say, was it worth the money that you paid for it?
It's always a tough question. That's still a tough question, I think, to get to ask people, because if you've got any interest in a big open world RPG,
I meant for you. I meant
for me, definitely. I mean, it's probably, I was talking to people about it after I finished it, because it is such a big game that you want to talk to certain people about, like, what you did, or what choices did you do, all that sort of thing, and just talk about it, because it's such a big game and I played it for so long. And to me, it's probably the most hyped game in existence, because obviously it was hyped up for so long, and that probably did damage it, I think quite a bit. But for me, it lived up to trying to word it. It was pretty much what I expected it to be. You know, I wasn't disappointed with, you know, maybe how an odd quest like ended. I'm like finished, but no, overall I was pleased with it, and it was worth the money, and I can't wait to get stuck back in again. Not necessarily to start a new playthrough like straight away, because it's a big game. I need time away from that sort of game now, which is why I moved on to Days Gone, which I'll talk about in a minute. But no, but obviously it's going to follow The Witcher in the sense that there's going to be obviously DLCs, expansions at some point. Obviously they've been pushed back now because the devs have obviously got to fix the game first, or make the game better first. But once there's DLCs and expansions come out, I think I'll be straight back to that game. And honestly, I can't wait, because I don't know, just about that ending, it just made me think I really loved this game, and it's despite its flaws that it did have. But no, great game in my opinion. I would recommend it. I would definitely recommend it.
How many hours did you spend on it?
I don't have Steam open right now, but it was when I loaded it up on Saturday. It was at 95.5, so I would imagine it was just shy under 100 hours. So if I wanted to go, but that's because at some point in my playthrough I stopped doing the little pop-ups that you do for like the police in Night City, which are basically like just little, not even side missions. It's kind of like just, I don't know, just little XP grinds, things to get some more loot kind of thing. And I just felt if I'm going to do each one of those, that's just going to make me burn out so much faster. So that's why I decided to stop doing those. But I think if I did all those, then I would have been well over 100 hours. But it's easily a game you could put 100 hours into, easily.
Excellent.
But no, great game in my opinion. But yeah, I can still understand what people on the fence, reservations and whatnot. But give it time, and I think, as I keep saying, just give it time, and like come the end of the year, I think people will be looking on it in a different light, so to speak. But yeah, so that's a big game that I started playing in December and only finished like last weekend. So that's like 3.5 to 4 months, which is it's a long game. If you want to do everything, which I kind of almost did. But since I finished it, I have now finally booted up my PlayStation 5, and my first game on it is Days Gone, obviously the PlayStation 5 upgraded edition. And so far, I'm enjoying it. It looks absolutely stunning on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, it does. I've got to say, I saw you play it earlier, and
it looks so good.
It looks so good. Yeah.
Like 60 FPS, and I said I kept stopping just to admire the view, so to speak, and just look around. And I feel like I looked at your character, and he's got like he's basically, you play a character called Deacon, who's at the beginning of the story, his wife seems to the apocalypse. You're thrown straight into the game as well, which I was surprised at. It's not like a game where you spend like a couple of days in the normal world before the zombie apocalypse hits you. You're just thrown straight in as the apocalypse is happening. And basically you're separated from your wife, and she goes off in basically a helicopter. You stay with your biker friend because you're a character that's part of a motorcycle gang, which is another reason why I'm really drawn to this game, being because Sons of Anarchy is my favorite TV show of all time. And basically after that, there's 2 years pass, and obviously the apocalypse is fully set in. You're living, obviously, week to week in camps, trying to survive, things like that. And basically every time, as I said, I was just stopping so many times to admire the view and look at Deacon, the character you're playing as, and just, as I said, the textures of like his facial hair, his like denim jacket he was wearing, even in the rain, it looks so good. Looks so good. And I'm still getting used to it. It's like different, like the combats, obviously I think the game likes you to be a bit more stealthy, but obviously it's still up to you. You can go in all guns blazing if you wish, but obviously I feel like the game, to me personally, obviously I'm very early on, it punishes you, I think, for going in guns blazing at every opportunity. Because obviously if you're going to go into a situation shooting your gun off, zombies are going to come out from every corner. And that happened a couple of times when I was playing it earlier. There was like behind me at one point there was 2 zombies, and I started just shooting my gun at something in front of me, and then there's like 10 zombies behind you, because obviously like you just started shooting your gun and you've attracted more attention. So it's definitely going to be a game, I think, where you got to assess each situation that you go into and think, okay, can I afford to be not stealthy and will it work out or will it work in my favor, or do I need to be a bit more stealthy to maybe conserve ammo and live through the scenario. And another thing I'm liking about it as well is there's because obviously your mode of transportation in the game is a motorbike, and the motorbike, by the way, feels pretty good. It feels really, the word I was using was very beefy. It's like when you like rev it and it's like, and you're actually riding it, and when you turn corners it feels quite like like how a motorcycle I think would feel, quite heavy to maneuver and everything like that. So I'm really enjoying those mechanics. But you've got to do basically motorcycle management, so to speak. So you've got to, if you have a tumble and your bike, you basically fall off your bike quite a few times, your bike's going to be busted up and you need to fix it. And then also you'll need to keep an eye on how much gas you've got left in the bike, because if it runs out, it runs out. It's not a game where I guess you have unlimited gas and you can just drive like a GTA game. You can just drive for days and you don't need to worry about your bike running out of fuel. So you also need to be on the lookout when you go scavenging for supplies and things to fix up your bike and things to keep your bike actually running, which I like quite a lot because it adds more realism to the game. But also just you got to keep an eye on your bike, otherwise you're going to be walking a lot to your destinations, which is pretty dangerous in this game. But no, I'm really thoroughly enjoying it so far, and I can't wait to get back into it.
It's one of those games which I keep forgetting exists. And when
everyone says that, I've seen quite a few people tell me you're going to enjoy it. It's quite underrated because it's like it seems to have been overshadowed by the likes, I guess, of The Last of Us, God of War.
Yeah, I remember when that game.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Evan.
I was saying, I remember when that game came out, it kind of being initially not being well received, but then kind of everybody who like stuck with it and kept playing past the initial part of the game all ended up like really enjoying it and recommending it. And it was kind of one of those games that because the initial impression I think was not great for a lot of people, that like it kind of got overshadowed or underlooked, even though it seems like it is a from what I've heard at least, and from what you've said, it's a really fun game, and seems like a game that kind of gets better the farther you get into it. Is that pretty accurate?
I feel like it is at the moment. I've gotten past what I would call the tutorial stage, and now it seems like the map has kind of opened up because it is an open world game.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's not going to be like Cyberpunk where it's massively open world. I feel like it's open world, but there's not going to be as much to do as obviously, as I said, there would be like Red Dead 2 or Cyberpunk. It's still quite linear in that respect, which I don't mind. Coming off a game like Cyberpunk, I don't mind a bit of linear, if I'm being honest. But no, I think, I feel like the more I get into this, I'm going to enjoy it because, as I said, Sons of Anarchy, favorite TV show of all time. Walking Dead, another one of my favorite TV shows. It's basically like them two shows had a baby, and this was the result. But this game came out in 2019. I was just looking up when it came out. And I was just thinking about other big games like God of War was like 2018, the year before. But yeah.
Yeah, wasn't 2019 kind of a slower year for games, if I remember?
That's what I'm struggling to think. I know Last of Us 2 was like last year, so that's 2020. It's like
what was the game where you were? It was like an Alan Wake. The people who made Alan Wake, I can't remember what that's called.
Not Control, the one before.
Yeah, Control.
Quantum.
Control.
Was it Control?
Yeah, Control came out that year. I think that won Game of the Year, didn't it?
I think it did, surprisingly. But no, yeah, that's what a lot of people have told me. It's like once you get more into it, it becomes really good. And most people said they really enjoyed it. But they said it was quite underrated, and it seems to like only, I guess, recently or maybe in like the last year or so been getting the attention I think maybe people said it possibly deserved. So
yeah.
So I look forward to getting more into it.
It's definitely I just can't get over how beautiful it looks.
That's what I mean. If in terms of PlayStation 4 games, like when I think of like really, I know obviously it's a PlayStation 5, but I mean, I imagine it still would have looked pretty freaking good on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, I think all the PlayStation 5 is doing is up in the frame rate. I don't think it's doing anything to the visuals.
And that's what I mean. When I think of PlayStation 4 graphics obviously being great, I think obviously, Last of Us 2, which, to be fair, nothing I think would top that for me for a long time. But like God of War, and I feel like this up. I don't know if it is, as you said, I don't know if it is the upgrade or not, but I mean, this looks pretty on level with like God of War in terms of how good it looks to me. I can't wait. I just can't. There is a photo mode, so I can't wait to actually get stuck into that.
Yeah. Every time I see people talking about it, that's when I'm reminded that the game, exists. And then I look at it and then I just think, oh. And I agree with James. It really does look like a really gorgeous looking game. And then that's it. Then it makes me really want to buy it. And then I won't buy it, and I'll forget it exists again. And then it will take a conversation like this to remind me. I need to play it. I really do. I need to I think that might have to be next month's acquisition.
Do you not? Do you have it?
Or no. Not?
Do you have PlayStation Plus?
I do, yeah.
Because it's part of that big collection, I believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which obviously includes like God of War, Last of Us, Bloodborne.
Oh, Bloodborne's on it. Do you know what? I haven't even really given that a second thought, that PlayStation Plus collection. Because I think, again, the reason on there is because I own most of the games anyway. So I think there is a handful. But I think if Days Gone's on there, that's obviously one of the games I don't have. So I definitely... See, I think it's just I think Days Gone is one of those games where I will quite happily take the punt and buy it. Because I can't imagine...
Just to see how it is.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's very expensive now anyway.
I also will say... It took me by surprise in how the zombies are, because I thought it is a little bit like Last of Us where there's different variations of zombies, and they're not. I was using it in my stream earlier. I'm trying to describe them. They're not Walking Dead zombies. They're not the slow, lethargic looking zombies. They're kind of like World War Z, Left 4 Dead zombies, like quite quick and can jump and everything. So it makes it a bit more adrenaline pumping, if that makes sense.
Is it quite a scary game?
I mean, I got jump scared a couple of times. Like one time when you're looting for something in a boot of a car, and there turned out to be a zombie in it. That definitely did make me jump out my chair. So I think it's one of those games where it's going to be jump scares in places, but maybe more. What's the word? When you see like a horde coming at you and you've got to get through a door in time before it gets you, that kind of fear. Which I'm down for.
Actually, carrying on with the zombie thing, I have been playing. Well, my plan is before May the 7th is to complete most Resident Evil games again. So this week,
it's basically having like a marathon, marathon.
Definitely, just a huge marathon. I've already completed 1, 2, and 3 this week. The originals. So
Jesus, yeah. 1, 2, and 3 this week.
Yeah, the originals, yeah. And then I was just trying to find the list of the games I'm going to play, but I've got so much junk on this computer I can't find.
I think I remember reading your initial tweet. Actually, isn't there something like 18 or even more than that games?
I've picked 18. Yeah.
Oh, you've picked 18.
I've picked 18 because I was thinking to myself, I don't think I've got any more time to play the rest of them. So yeah, 1, 2, and 3. And then I'll probably go on to the remakes, and then the other side stories in that. But yeah, I'm streaming most of them. I was gonna try and do it as some sort of charity thing, but then I couldn't be asked. So I'm just playing it for my own enjoyment, really. And yeah, I'm looking forward to May the 7th for Resident Evil 8. And I thought, what better way to sort of get hype for it than go through and play all the Resident Evil games. It's amazing how much I forgot, especially with the very, very old original ones. Resident Evil 3 that I'm playing now, I have pretty much forgotten, I would say 60% of the game, and where to go, what to do, just mind blank. I mean, I sat there yesterday on stream for like 15 minutes just staring blankly at the computer. And I just said to the camera, I said, I don't know what I'm doing.
I've done that before. Honestly, I was on stream for 6 hours one day playing Jurassic Park on SNES because I had no idea where I was going. I was going around in circles for so long.
It's amazing when that happens, isn't it? It's just like, I mean, even certain parts of Resident Evil 1's my favourite. I'd say it's my favourite game out of the whole lot, to be honest. But
the original,
yeah,
with the cheesy acting.
Oh yeah, and it wasn't until it wasn't until I played it again the other day. I can't remember the last time I fully completed Resident Evil, the original. It's got to be a few years. But all of a sudden, it hit me at how bad it actually is. Now, I've always had sort of rose-tinted glasses when it comes to Resident Evil, and I've always been like, oh, well, voice acting wasn't that bad. It's not as bad as some games. But it wasn't until I played it again, it's like, no, it is really bad. I mean, what have I been doing for the last few years, to think that it's so great?
I think, you know what, when Resident Evil first came out, though, is voice acting in games was brand new, pretty much, wasn't it? So you kind of looked past the bad acting and you just thought, this is unbelievable. It's like watching a movie. And then when you even when you go back now and play the remake on GameCube and on the newer consoles, like the acting, the quality of acting is so much better. And then you go back to the original and you just,
it's like playing a potato.
Oh, it's just so wooden, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, but I've been definitely having fun with them.
And that's what matters.
Evan, what have you been playing this week?
A couple things. I'll keep negativity out of it. I've been playing Madden 21, so EA again.
I love EA.
But so they have that EA Play, and Madden has like a trial, like a 10-hour trial or whatever. So I just preface it by saying I'm a big American football fan, and have really played most of the Madden games throughout my life, and always been a big fan of them. But so I decided to give that a shot and played it, and I'm not a big fan of like the Ultimate Team or like any of those kind of things. I like to just do like the Dynasty mode and pick your team and do all like the team management, play the games and free agency and drafting people and all that. And so I've been having fun with that.
I was going to say, EA might need to be our swear jar word.
I know. I was like, I'm just avoiding saying anything bad about it. There are negative things I could say, but we've said enough negative things.
One though, isn't it?
Oh, it's awful. It's not a bad game.
You just broke
it's a bad Madden game.
You're so easily incorrigible, Evan.
I know. It's hard for me. EA holds so many things that are near and dear to my heart, and they just crush me.
I mean, some of my favorite games are EA games. That's the thing.
Yeah. No, that's how I am too. But yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of glitches, bugs, that kind of stuff, and it, frustrating things like that. But what are you gonna do? Cool. And then bigger news, I bought a Nintendo Switch, so I finally broke down. I wanted one for a while and and kind of held off on it, and finally pulled the trigger. So which has been fun. So my girlfriend really wanted to play Mario Party, so we got Mario Party and played a few games of that.
Which Mario Party was it? Because I saw Mario Party on your list, and like, is it just called Mario Party?
Whatever the one for the Switch is. I don't know. There's a subtitle to it. Yeah, that's what it does. It's like there's some sort of subtitle to it. But yeah, so that's been pretty fun. I will say I was reminded very rudely of how Nintendo likes to make their games quote unquote fair, so that anybody could win, even when some people outplay other people. So we played against like the computer, and like we both just like crushed obviously we're playing against the AI or whatever, so they're not super great at the game, but beat them in all the mini games, like had more stars in them. Then the game ends, and then at the end of after the game ends, there's like they're like, we're just going to give out random things to players, and then they like gave Wario like 2 stars, and then he won. And I was like, what is this bullshit? Like, I just outplayed him, and then you just gave him stars for doing nothing. Like, and we were so it was pretty funny. Actually,
that is Mario Party in a nutshell right there. I think you can turn those bonus stars off at the end of the game, but
I hope so, man.
I'm sure you can. Well, I'm pretty sure you could in the older ones anyway. I'm not sure about Super Mario Party, but yeah, I think in like Mario Party 5, 6, 7 and such, you can turn off bonus stars.
I'll have to look into the settings.
Do suck.
Yeah, it was so frustrating. We were both like, what? Like, we just spent like an hour playing this game and winning, and then we just got it pulled out from under us. But yeah, so that's fun. I like all the mini games. I played Mario Party. I never really had had it myself, but I remember playing like in my friends' houses, and my girlfriend had a Wii growing up and used to play with her siblings a lot. So
Mario Party was like one of the best games I think of my childhood.
Yeah,
especially Mario Party 4. Fun with it. Mario Party 4 was always the best.
Yeah, so we had fun with that. We also got Super Monkey Ball 2 because we both also played that as children. And
that comes back to me as well.
Yeah, don't waste your money if you have a Switch on Super Monkey Ball. It's like a remaster of one of them or something, but it was not worth the money. I'll just say that.
That's a shame. I was actually looking at that not long ago.
If it's like on sale for like $10, I'd say buy it just to like play it on your own and just do like the quote unquote story mode or like whatever the single player mode, because that's like traditional Monkey Ball kind of style where you're just going through courses. But all the multiplayer stuff is like these mini games that aren't like, what I guess I remember the game being. It's like you're like, there's one that's like you're in planes and you're like fighting each other or something, and there's all sorts of weird ones. So
it's Banana Blitz, isn't it? It's a remake of Banana Blitz.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, I think that was the Wii version.
Yeah, but then when I've
heavily relied on motion controls, if I remember.
That makes sense. Why? Oh yeah, because you had to use the motion control, I believe, to do certain actions and stuff, if I remember right. But yeah, and what I've sunk probably most of my time into is Octopath Traveler. So a game I've wanted to play for a really long time and just never, it's on PC too, but just never spent the money on and started playing it. And, with those like long JRPGs, I really like them, but I always have such a hard time finishing them because they're just so long. But now that I had the Switch, I was like, oh, I can take this with me. Like I travel for work, like at least once a month, I like have to stay in a hotel and stuff like that. So I'm like, now I'll, it's something I can kind of bring along with me. And I'm probably about 7 hours into it, and I really like it so far. If you guys aren't familiar, it's a RPG kind of, it's got like a retro, I don't know what the right word to use is, like pixelated art style. But it's got like this really cool art style for like the backdrops and the buildings and even the characters too. But it's this like really cool, aesthetic that they have going on. And essentially there's 8 characters, and you can kind of start with whatever character you want to, and you play through like their opening, and then you kind of travel to each other character and then kind of recruit them along the way to build up this party. And then each character has their own like storyline of like, their own like personal quest they're trying to go on for, whatever it might be for that, individual character. And I'm sure there's some other, overarching story that I haven't gotten to yet that kind of ties all of them together. But it's really fun so far. It's like a, turn-based strategy, kind of your classic JRPG that you think of. Have you guys played that before or heard of that?
I one of my friends actually, I popped into his stream, I think it was like last week or the week before, and that's what he was playing. And I said it just looked like I really liked the color palette for it. It kind of went to, I don't know if it's set. I know it's set in like what is it, like fiction kind of like places, but I don't know if it's meant to be like more medieval kind of fantasy kind of setting, because it seemed to just look very old timey.
It's definitely very like traditional fantasy, swords, magic, that kind of stuff.
It just reminded me of like, I guess, I don't know, kind of like it had the old school Pokemon kind of look to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Very not quite 8-bit, but that kind of style, if you get me.
Yeah, it's definitely like a pixel art style, and it's got like a very like unique aesthetic though to it. But yeah, so that's about what I've been playing. Probably just keep playing Octopath, really liking that. I need to finish Resident Evil 7 still. I have not touched that since last time we talked.
Going back to Mario, obviously last week, May the 10th, was what they call Mario Day or whatever. So I thought we'd...
I didn't actually know it was a thing until I saw it on Twitter, I'm just saying. I realised he would have had like his own day, but I didn't actually realise it was March the 10th.
Well,
it kind of makes sense.
I didn't realise either that it was that it was Mario Day, and see, I don't know where it's originated, and I've done zero research into this.
I just saw it on Twitter and I rolled with it.
Yeah, it's only because last year I don't remember even hearing about this, so I didn't know whether it was something that just got made up this year. So, but I thought we'd talk about Mario games. I thought we'd talk about our favourite Mario games, and I'll start by saying that I can't stand Mario.
I was waiting for this because it's not
the games. It's not the games. It's not the games. It's just Mario I don't like. The actual character of Mario.
Is it because it's a plumber that doesn't do his job?
He's just so boring. He's such a boring character. I know some people are going to probably be like, "Oh, this is awful," but he's the worst computer game character that's ever been created.
James,
comparing him to Sonic, Mario can. I was going to say
no,
something
don't
really
say
awful.
That. but can you do me a favour, please? Can you actually just read what you said in Discord?
What did I say? Hold on.
Oh yeah, that's what you said to me last night.
Give me a second. Oh, hold on. Am I in the right one? I'm in it. Oh,
the actual channel that we made.
Seeing
yesterday at 6:10 in the evening, if that helps.
6:10. I hate Mario as a character. I just want to punch him in the face. I would, and it's not because he's a plumber or anything like that. It's just the fact that he's useless at his job for a start. He can't keep hold of his girlfriend who keeps getting nicked by a overgrown turtle or whatever it is. What is Bowser? Is Bowser?
I think he's like a giant.
He's
cross between a dinosaur.
He's got a shell, and he got a shell.
He's the king of the Koopas.
It shows how much I really care about the Mario brand or whatever. Hold on.
It's at the end of that sentence what you said there as well. Is look forward to chatting about it tomorrow.
He is. Well, kind of Bowser is. He's got a shell on his back. He's it's
like a hybrid turtle thing, like dinosaur.
Yeah.
He's
turtle dragon.
A plumber. Oh, and he's got.
I like that you said you said Wario, and I'm like, no, you probably go one step further and be Waluigi.
Yeah, I like Wario. Wario's alright. At least Wario's got a personality. Mario's just some sort of. I'm looking at him now. It just infuriates me. And he's got
one of the things listeners will find out about James. He just has a disdain for Mario as a character.
Can Mario talk in terms of like form proper sentences?
No,
or is it just
I think if it's just Yahoo, it's me.
No, he does. He has. Yeah, thank you so much
for
playing my game.
There you go. Right, that's it. That's all he can muster up. At least Sonic can talk. Mario just runs around taking mushrooms and jumping on turtles.
Those poor turtles.
But on the whole, I do quite like Mario.
You like Mario games?
I just don't like Mario. I don't. I've never been a fan of the character of Mario. I find him intolerable. But that being said, he's done quite well. So good luck to him. What about you guys?
Do we want to go round once and list the game off?
Well, I don't mind shouting out my favourite game, and that, to be fair, Mario Kart has got to be my favourite, probably my favourite Mario game ever.
Which one? The first one, Nintendo 64. I'm trying to think of just the earlier ones.
I'm going to be, I think anything from the Nintendo 64 up. I mean, I'm not really keen on the Super Nintendo one, but I think for me, I first played a Mario Kart game on the N64, and man, it blew me away. It was just there was me and my mates, and I think that's what I take from Mario is that it's got a really, really good racing game, which kind of Sega stole for Sega All Stars, but
yeah, but
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just amazing. It reminds me also of Street. Do you remember Street Racer? I think they stole that sort of thing as well, didn't they? Do you remember Street Racer?
I know of it. Yeah. I haven't got it.
But Mario Kart's an amazing game. Amazing,
I get really excited when a new Mario Kart game gets announced. except for the last pile of crap they pumped out anyway, which was that live circuit thing.
Oh God!
Quick little cash grab.
Is that the one where you like where you put the track down in the real world, so to speak, and you follow it along?
The one which you need to be a millionaire to play. Because you need a great big house with great big living room space. You know, I couldn't do it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got a fair sized living room, but I still don't think I could do it.
Is that the one where you actually have remote control cars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah. I mean, I'd love to play that, but yeah, my front room wouldn't be big enough for that.
No.
I think
personally, I think it's a pretty stupid idea that they even attempted to do that. I mean, I really do. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I'm quite happy to defend Nintendo's, well, not strategy, but like Nintendo as a whole, because I'm a huge Nintendo fan. I love Mario Kart as well, James. But that was just a really stupid idea. I'd much rather of them just throw that in the bin and give me Mario Kart 9.
How big's the cars? Hold on, I've got to get my brain around this. How big are the cars? You can't skid the cars like you can on Mario Kart, can you?
No, they don't have fire coming out the back of them either.
Oh, they're not... No, I know what you mean, but it's kind of like augmented, isn't it? So you can sort of pick things up. But
I think I'll jump on board quickly just to throw one of mine in, because I've got 3, and the one I've got like at the bottom, well, not the bottom, but the bottom of the 3 I got obviously is Mario Kart Double Dash, which was
I liked amazing that one. I really enjoyed that.
That was one of my favorite games, I think, on the GameCube, and it was, I think, the first Mario Kart game that was different from the others, and it really changed it up. But I really liked it because obviously you got to control 2 characters rather than 1, and it just, I don't know, it's obviously the same thing. You're racing, you're using your items and stuff, but obviously it just, I don't know how to really describe it. But just obviously it was obviously more it was co-op as well, wasn't it? Obviously, because someone could play the one on the back, and someone could do the driving, someone could do like the aiming with the weapons and stuff. So obviously, it just added a whole new kind of feel to Mario Kart, like teamwork. Which
I used to play that all the time with a friend of mine. I'd be driving, and he'd be just throwing the shells at the enemies.
It was also just like the pairings of the characters, I think, were really good as well. Obviously, you had Mario, Luigi, Wario, Waluigi, Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Toad, and then anyone I couldn't go was Yoshi, and then I think her name was Birdo, the pink dinosaur.
Birdo, yeah.
Where does she even come from? Can I just ask
that? So she.
I don't know if she's just Yoshi's girlfriend or something.
No. So she debuted in Super Mario Bros. 2, which was our version of Super Mario Bros. 2, because the actual version of Super Mario Bros. 2 is what's known as the Lost Levels, which was released in Japan only. So Birdo actually came from a game called Doki Doki Panic that they pretty much reskinned to become Mario Bros. 2, which is the version we got, which the Japanese know as Super Mario Bros. US.
Okay, cool little tidbit. Well, no, Double Dash was just a great game because it just changed how people, I think, looked at Mario Kart.
Yeah, it was. I mean, a lot of people actually turned their noses up at Double Dash. They consider it to be one of the worst ones.
Some people don't like change, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. But that probably is what it is. It took them out of their comfort zone, or maybe they just don't like Mario.
Well, it works for people like James. You know, you got 2, you can play as Luigi.
People, I'm just looking up on the internet now to see if anyone else hates Mario.
I'm surprised you haven't bought Smash Brothers then and just like always played against Mario.
You just beat him up.
Just beat him up.
Yeah.
Get your frustration out.
You're going to be tweeting Ed Boon, aren't you, now, and saying, "Look, Ed, please put Mario into Mortal Kombat, so that I could perform every fatality under the sun onto him."
Can I just say I'm bringing a little fact out for people who don't know, but the voice of Mario was also the voice of one of the dragons in Skyrim.
Oh yeah, I've seen
Charles Martinet.
Oh really?
Yeah. Half an
hour. Doesn't he do like all the Mario characters in the English versions?
Yeah, Mario, Wario, and Waluigi. He does. He's a really nice guy, actually. I've had a couple of interactions with him on Twitter under a different account.
I would love for James to meet him, just going, I like you, but I fucking hate your character.
Listen to this. I've just read it on the internet, and it just sums up exactly how I feel. Despite his lengthy history, Mario does not have a solid personality. since it was for players to implant their own personalities into the character. Maybe that's why I hate him. Maybe I just hate myself. Maybe that's why I hate Mario. When his demeanor is shown, Mario is aggressive and impulsive. Sometimes doing things without much meditation. Oh God, that does sound like. Oh God, maybe this is what this podcast is about. Maybe it's like a what's that thing called when we all get together to tell someone how bad they are at being a person? Yeah, maybe this is what this is.
So what they're saying is that
Mario.
They're trying to say that Mario's got about as much personality as a can of Diet Coke.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, hold on. Oh God, there's loads of people who don't like Mario. Oh, okay, no,
can we stop with the Mario bashing, James? Gee, poor Mario. He's not even here to defend himself.
Okay, I'll jump in.
Do you like Mario?
I don't like Mario either.
Oh, for Christ's sake!
It has nothing to do with Mario as a character, though. It's actually more related to the games themselves. I have nothing against Mario. I don't really like him either, but I don't have anything against him, so I'm definitely not as passionate about it as James is. But I think we talked about it. I talked about it our last episode too. Just never really was a big Nintendo person growing up. Just never had the consoles really. So my relationship with Mario and really all those, Nintendo first party games is the multiplayer games that I'd go to, my friend's house, growing up and play, Mario Kart, play Mario Tennis, Mario Party, like we were talking about. It was really the only time I played those games, and, I really liked them. But, the Mario, whatever, the kind of your traditional Mario games, I just never really, enjoyed that much.
Did you never have I know you said you're not really a Nintendo person, like you didn't really have like a Nintendo 64 or a GameCube, but did you ever have a Game Boy or a Game Boy Advance or anything like that?
I had a Game Boy Color, and I think really the only thing I played was the Pokemon games, if I remember right. I was pretty young though. I think I had one of the Mario games. I never really enjoyed it for whatever reason. Never really was a big fan of like the platformer side scrolling, the kind of your traditional Mario games. But I did like the kind of like the party, like multiplayer, fun games like Mario Kart and those kind of games. I always had a lot of fun with those, like playing with friends and stuff like that. And I remember playing a lot of Super Smash Bros. Melee on the GameCube. That's probably one of my favorite,
a good time.
Nintendo quote unquote Mario. I guess it's not really a Mario game, but
Stupid Mario.
I actually haven't got a list, to be honest with you.
You just want to just go talk about it freely.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is for me is I enjoy almost all Mario games. I've played almost all of them. So the only one I really haven't played is Mario RPG, and that's supposed to be incredible, but it, it sucks to be us because it hasn't been released over here, other than on Virtual Console. But I think Super Mario Bros. 3 is up there as one of my favourites, and that was the NES title. And it's difficult to say it's a completely different game because it's still a 2D platformer, and as most Mario games were back then, but it's just the different elements that combined it to make it feel like a different game, despite it still being a very traditional Mario game. When you've got the overworld maps that you can choose what level you want to go to. You've got the new power-ups like the raccoon tail, the Tanuki suit, the frog suit, the P-Wing, and the Hammer Brothers costume. And you got to bear in mind, back in 1991 maybe, when this game was released, this was actually revolutionary, and this actually changed a lot of things in gaming. And I think if it wasn't for games like Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario 64, we wouldn't have a lot of great 3D platformers that we do have today. Banjo-Kazooie took a lot of inspiration from Super Mario 64. You can tell. Mario has definitely paved the way for so many things. As a character, I neither like him or hate him. I mean, he's just Mario. I mean, I think because I like the game so much, I like Mario as a character. You know, for me, I do. I love Mario. I've got loads of Mario stuff.
I feel bad now because I feel like I've shat all over it. He's your best mate.
No, not at all. Well, I'm going to give him a text when I'm off of this and go, you're never going to guess what James said about you.
Yeah, don't listen to the podcast next week.
I'm going to give him your Twitter handle and he's going to troll you like crazy.
That's fine. That's fine.
But
little mushroom emojis.
I'll probably just kind of go loosely then with the other two that I really enjoyed in my lifetime, which is I'll start with Mario Sunshine, which I really, really, really liked Mario Sunshine. Again, it was like one of my favorite games. I always liked playing like on the weekend, because when I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to. My parents had the strict rule, me and my older brother, we could only play games on the weekends because obviously school was the main focus in the week. And homework and all that sort of stuff. And then when it came to like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, when it came to Friday is when we were both excited to get home from school and play games and all that sort of stuff. And then you wake up on the mornings of like Saturday, Sunday, and you just want to play games. And it definitely made us enjoy games more, which I think is why I'm so into video games. It's a big passion for me now. And Mario Sunshine was one of those games I really, really loved, like waking up on that Saturday morning to play. And it's not your traditional Mario game. I'll definitely say that, Super Mario Sunshine, which is why I feel like it does get a lot. It got a lot of flack. People really didn't like Mario Sunshine because people either said it was because of that. It was because it wasn't like most other Mario games at the time or to that point. But then other people found it a bit boring because they said it was like all you do is like clean things with FLUDD, and it's like I don't know what it was about it, but I enjoyed the music, the setting. I enjoyed like cleaning up everything with FLUDD, as well as obviously doing everything else. You know, you got the big battle with the big Petey Piranha, and then the big like what is it, like caterpillar kind of like big creature you fight on the beach. Wiggler, that's what it was. I just remember like the first thing that comes to mind when I think of Mario Sunshine is the music from Delfino Plaza.
Yeah,
it's like one of my favorite tracks from a Nintendo game. And it just made me feel happy because it was such a bright, perky game to play.
It is a really good game. I honestly really enjoyed it. And as you say, I think it was the FLUDD mechanics that people didn't like. But there were some really traditional Mario elements in there too. You know, there was the classic platforming sections. You know, I don't know if you remember, but there was these like special stages you'd go on where... what's the name of the other Mario? Like Phantom Mario that takes FLUDD away from you.
Metal Mario, isn't it?
Something like that. Because he's like made of water or something, I think it is. But anyway, he takes FLUDD away from you, doesn't he? And there are these elements where you just have to do traditional Mario platforming sections across these blocks to the old Super Mario Brothers theme, which is also a really good little track from the game. And they are really challenging segments as well. Really challenging. You'd spend so many lives on there. And when I was playing the re-release on Switch, I could have easily have broken my TV a fair few times in rage on those levels alone. It's a really nice balance of new techniques and old techniques. I really enjoyed Mario Sunshine, but I think as time's gone past, a lot of people have warmed up to it. And it was one of the games they wanted to see most re-released.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it's like I always say the joke with Mario Sunshine is it's like because obviously at the beginning of the game Mario gets like arrested because he's obviously the culprit is someone who looks like him, and even though he doesn't look like him at all, but it's I always used to joke of like it's he gets arrested for for doing what he's actually meant to do, cleaning things and or something like that. It's always a game you got to go around cleaning all the muck up everywhere. I feel like he's actually doing what he's meant to do. But then obviously my favourite Mario game of all time is obviously Super Mario 64. It's got to be. It's like one of the first like proper games that I played that's actually like that was 3D along with Banjo-Kazooie. And again, it's a game that just it I wouldn't even now if I probably played it again nowadays it probably would get me angry at times because obviously it's one of those platformer games where you some levels will be harder than others kind of thing, but obviously at the time when I was little I just remember all the music and like fighting all the bosses. Like I just remember the big King Bomb. Is it King Bomb? I don't know how you say him, but in the first level when you fight like the King Bomb and it's just and fighting Bowser, and then just always little things of like, jumping into the paintings in Princess Peach's castle, and then you find that, and then there's a room where the stairs just go on forever, and it's just, it's crazy. It's just so crazy. And also, I just want to say that Diadox, I think it's called, which is the underwater level, is probably like one of my favorite video game soundtracks like ever, or pieces of music.
It's a lovely
ever
track.
Gaming.
Mind you, say that there is a track. I'm going off topic a little bit. There is a track from Donkey Kong Country 2. I think it's called Aquatic. Do you know
Aquatic Ambience.
Yeah, I think that is it. That is a sensational bit of music. It really is. Absolutely brilliant. I could listen to it on to repeat quite a bit. But yeah, sorry, Diadox is amazing as well. I absolutely love that. And I love how it changes.
Is amazing.
I love how that
is amazing.
Go on.
Sorry, go on, mate.
You're going to shit over Mario again, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm about to say something amazing, actually.
Go on.
Talking about Mario 64, that game was 8 megabytes.
That is amazing.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Actually,
really,
is amazing.
when you think about it. And I've actually played Mario 64, and it's pretty good. Barring the Mario character, but no.
It's too much water.
It's too much Mario in it, I'm afraid.
My parents recently, because my mum's a bit of a gamer, but she likes the less challenging. Well, I say less challenging. I mean, games like the games she likes, like Spyro and Mario, can be challenging, but she's not into like Bloodborne and Witcher and things like that. But Spyro and Mario. And recently they have me and my older brother actually got her the Super Mario 3D All Stars for Mother's Day over here in the UK. So actually now I've got a reason to actually play it myself if I want to, which I might actually have to do at some point.
Super Mario 64 was so impressive for the time. Even when
was Ocarina was that first, or was it Ocarina of Time? I feel like those two were like the first like proper 3D games to come out.
I think Mario 64 may have been a launch title.
Yeah, it would have definitely been a launch title.
I might be wrong now. I'm sure we're going to be corrected, but I'm pretty sure it was.
Also, can I just say the startup screen for Mario 64 is like I can think it, I can hear it in my head now.
What with his stupid head?
And then you got his head, and you can pull his nose and pull his eyes. I can imagine it.
It was a launch title. Yeah, it was a launch title along with Pilot Wings.
Great game. And this is just another one of those things I want to thump my desk and say, why haven't you brought that out on Switch yet?
Yeah. Why haven't they?
I don't know.
Because
they're morons.
I was just going to say, if anybody is listening, if you skip back to the start of us talking about Mario, and you can play a great drinking game where every time we mention the word Mario, take a shot.
Oh, God.
I was trying to count them.
Shall we just go through every Mario game in existence? The actual name of the Mario game. Like Super Mario this, Super Mario that, Super Mario this. Everyone will be wasted by the end of this.
James, you really need to play a game called Mario is Missing. Because
is he in it?
No.
Oh, no, he's not, is he? No, I have heard of that game, yeah. Who'd you play?
Luigi.
Oh, I like him. He's all right.
Oh, he's all right.
I like Luigi's Mansion. That's a cracking game.
Yeah,
the
Luigi's
haunted one.
It really is. Actually a great game. Yeah.
Does that count as a Mario game?
No.
Can I say that? No? Oh,
I mean, he appears in it. I guess that's the most you can, link it to Mario.
Yeah, you do have to, save him.
Do you?
Doesn't sound like James got a party with the ghosts.
Yeah. Oh, good old Mario.
I think my final two would be very similar to yours, Katie. I think Mario 64 is got to be up there because it was just so revolutionary and groundbreaking at the time. I'm still in, back then I was so impressed with even the minor things like, when you see Metal Mario for the first time, the reflections just looked so impressive. And
can I just ask you a little quick question, Mario 64? Did you, in the snow level with the penguins, did you drop the penguin off the edge?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the baby penguin off the edge. Sounds so dark, but it's like...
That. Yeah.
Oh, and then another thing, the slide. Oh, sorry that I'm going on a nostalgic rant now.
It's got an amazing soundtrack, Mario 64. But playing it now, I mean, you do see its flaws, like the camera. I died so many times playing it on the Switch because of the
old
poor
school camera controls.
So Mario 64, I'd say would be my second, but I'd say my all-time favourite Mario game is probably Super Mario Galaxy 2. Because...
So I never played those. I think I tried to get into those and I just couldn't. And I don't know if it was just because when you like move Mario around, it's actually like the map like moves with you, because obviously you're like it's almost like walking around a globe. And I don't know if that put me off, if I'm being honest.
It did for me at first when I first saw Super Mario Galaxy. I really wasn't sure I was going to like it at all. I thought it was such a departure from traditional Mario games, because obviously, as you say, you're walking across a globe and it just doesn't feel like it's going to work. You just think, how is this going to fit into a Mario game? But Nintendo, they are so good at their craft, and you can say what you like, but they have a knack for producing just amazing games, and they're so consistent with it as well. I mean, okay, it's not going to please everybody, but for the majority of people, you're going to enjoy a Mario game if you've played, them in the past. And they managed to do it. And, Super Mario Galaxy was just so good in terms of the gameplay, the new features they introduced, and the soundtrack, the orchestrated soundtrack was just amazing. The only thing that was missing is just a couple of other things, like maybe, a couple of power-ups in Yoshi that just wasn't in it. And that's where Super Mario Galaxy 2 came in and introduced all of that plus more. And you think, well, this is the complete Mario Galaxy experience. They've taken everything that was just so good about Super Mario Galaxy and they've just made it even better. And for me, Mario Galaxy 2 it's probably been, I will say, one of the best games I've ever played.
Wow, that's a statement. Is it? Well, I don't know. I've never played it. Is it good?
It is. I think so. For me, again, that's my personal opinion, but for me, Mario Galaxy 2 has been the best game I've ever played so far.
Wow. I don't really know what to say to that. Is that when you say the best game you've ever played? Are you saying that literally as the top, or in like a collection as like one of the best games I've played, along with blah 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 blah, or you're literally saying like that is hands down beats any other game that I've played?
You see, I've always said to myself it has been the best game I've ever played. But when I think about it, I've played so many amazing games, and I won't get into it because it could be a whole other topic for another podcast. But there are some games that I do wish I can play again for the first time.
I know that I think next time we're gonna have this conversation, aren't we?
Yeah, this is why I don't want to say it.
Just to I feel like I've given Barrio. I've given Barrio a bad rap. I've given Barrio a bad rap.
That's his strange
a really bad rap.
It's me, Barrio.
Yeah. All I'm picturing now is Evan. You might not know who he is, but Barry from EastEnders with a little moustache.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Actually, I don't know where the accent came from. I mean, Barry don't talk like that.
Oh God, yeah.
But I'm gonna try one more Mario game, and then I'll
On the subject of Mario, though, Katie, has anyone watched the Mario Brothers movie?
I was just about to talk about that. I haven't, but I've heard it's
with
it's an acquired taste.
Bob Hoskins.
Bob Hoskins.
Yeah, I bought it on Blu-ray not long ago.
Did you? Why? What, to throw straight in the bin?
because it's Mario.
One less copy out in the world.
It's such a weird film. It's such an odd film.
It is a very odd film.
When was it made? It was like early
Dennis
90s
Hopper.
or...
Dennis Hopper turning into like
was it like early 90s?
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it's so.
So it was the same director as Jurassic Park?
No. Oh God, no.
Oh, that's what you said. I was like, what?
No.
It's directed by Quentin Tarantino.
Paul Anderson. No, it was a couple. I think it was a team, a husband and wife team, who actually directed it, and they were just they always had a difference of opinions of compare.
Oh my God, John Leguizamo was in it. Oh, he played Luigi.
He plays Luigi.
Yeah, he was Luigi. It was Bob Hoskins and him, right?
Yeah.
Bob Hoskins said incredible. It was the worst film he ever made.
Annabelle Jankel and Rocky Morton are the directors.
Bob Hoskins.
That's right.
What made Bob Hoskins get? It must have been a very large amount of money. Have you not seen it, Evan?
Well, it couldn't have been the script because the script kept changing every day, apparently.
The idea of John Leguizamo playing Luigi, though, is something I never knew I wanted to see, but now that I know it's a thing, I need to see it.
There you go.
I would like to see how, because they've done it with Sonic. I would like to maybe see how they would do a Mario
like a CGI rendered kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, they are doing one for next year.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah, it's being made by Illumination. The people that did Minions and Despicable Me.
Okay. Oh, so is it like an animated one, CGI, rather than like live action? Oh, okay. Yeah. That would probably work better, though. To be fair,
I think Ryan Reynolds is going to do the voice as Mario.
Oh God,
I'm joking.
I totally believe you. I was like, okay.
The Sonic movie was so good, though. I absolutely love that.
That's what I mean. You give it time. Like I'm just saying quickly before we move on. It's obviously that movie originally was going to come out how it looked in the first place, and everyone's like, Sonic looks a bit weird, and all that sort of stuff. And they actually took
come on,
on board and changed it.
They weren't that polite about it.
No,
it's amazing.
Obviously, we can't say what people mostly said.
Yeah, I'm glad they did though, because he looks a lot better as the redesign, and I think it paid off for the studio big time, because I think they more than made their money back, and it was a hit, and they're making a sequel, and everyone signed up to it. So yeah, good luck to them. It was a good film. I really enjoyed it. I mean, Jim Carrey is my all-time favorite actor, and I was just couldn't have been. Sorry.
He's a legend. He
is, yeah. I couldn't have been happier to see him play Dr. Robotnik.
It's amazing, actually, that I mean, I don't know how many people dislike Mario to the point of people who like Mario, but I suppose that's one of the good things about a character, is that whether people like him or hate him, it's certainly a character that has impacted the gaming generation for absolute years.
Well, he's the most recognizable.
You can't all be bad.
He's the most recognizable character in the world.
Well,
I believe it.
Is he?
Yeah.
Sure, Superman. What about Superman? No?
Yeah, I mean, I think
no Superman.
I would tend to agree. I feel like you show anybody who doesn't even have like much knowledge of the games would probably know who he is.
I mean, especially I think like in Japan too, it's like he does like PSAs and stuff like that. Like he's more than just a video game character. Like,
yeah, I guess
more like kind of how Superman is here, right? He's not just a movie character. He's not just from video games. He's kind of transcends all media. I think Mario's kind of similar in Japan.
Well, he kind of is the face of Nintendo, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, definitely.
Mascot,
and I would argue. Sorry, go ahead, Katie.
Oh no, I was just going to say he's their mascot essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was arguing when you say video games, like, and you ask random people on the street, like, what's the first image that comes in your brain when you think video games? I feel like a lot of people are going to say like Mario, Tetris. Like, I feel like that's up there with like just kind of like the staple of like when you think about video games, what's kind of one of the first things you think of.
I just actually might have to take back that statement.
Who is it?
It doesn't say, but I think he's the most the most recognizable video game character in the world.
You're probably right. You're definitely right. Yeah, I mean, he's not my first choice who I'd think of, obviously, but he's definitely yeah. I don't know who. To be fair, it's something I've never thought about.
Mickey Mouse, I would have thought would probably be more recognizable than Mario, but
the definitive dose says Superman is number 1 and Mickey Mouse is number 2. James Bond is number 3.
Oh, come on.
Number
James
4.
What about Pikachu?
How can James Bond be recognizable when he
changes every bloody 8 years?
That is kind of weird. It's like, not one person plays it.
That's like saying any man in a suit, isn't it? That's James
Mario's
Bond.
number 55.
Oh wow!
Mario's number 55.
I don't know how credible this website
Mario,
is. I'm just going to take a step back. It's just a random website I found.
55.
No, even I've got to say Mario should be well up there.
Pikachu's number 74.
See, I can see Superman.
Michael Scott from The Office is number 75.
Oh, shut up.
I'm not joking. Darth Vader's number 7.
Who's number 6?
Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz.
Number 1.
This is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
This podcast.
Peter Pan's number 9.
It's proper gone off the rails.
Yeah, Peter Pan.
Han Solo is 13.
Fembot number 7 is number 6 or number 8 from Austin Powers.
Really?
No.
Oh.
I was like, are you looking at a different website? I was like...
I just tried to pick a random character and that was it. Fembot. Funny Bot from South Park. Oh, come on. Surely some of the South Park characters have got to be up there. Eric Cartman.
So I'd probably say it was Kenny.
Eric Cartman is 71. He's the only South Park character on here.
Sorry,
who do you guys think number 100 is?
Crichton from Red Dwarf.
It's someone we talked about during this podcast.
Doctor Who, no. Oh yeah, hold on. So that's what you could say as well. Like if James Bond is number what?
3,
7.
I think.
3.
Yeah.
So what about Doctor Who?
Sonic is number 100, by the way. Doctor...
What is he? Oh,
yeah,
that's bullshit. This list. Get this list.
This list.
Doctor Who is not on
this
here
list?
unless they spelled out Doctor Who, which they did not. Nope, Doctor Who is not on the list. But Doctor Who has different faces, right?
So, so does James Bond.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Fair point.
That's the thing. James Bond is a different actor every couple of movies.
Rocky Balboa is number 11.
Well, at least that's the same person.
Forrest Gump.
That's just Sylvester Stallone.
I mean, yeah.
That's just
Rambo.
I mean,
You could probably put Rambo up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got like the Joker on here. I mean, it's kind of similar.
Yeah, okay.
Different looks.
I don't agree with this list.
Anyway, E.T.
Yeah, no, that whole Rocky thing.
Anyway, listeners, these are like most
Lassie is on here. That's just a
Lassie?
dog. There's a million dogs that look like Lassie.
Yeah, but to be fair, that Lassie dog, if I ever see a dog that looks like Lassie, I immediately go, "Oh, it's that Lassie dog."
That's a good point.
I don't know what the name of that dog is.
Is that the same
that's
Bernard you see?
Beethoven.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, Beethoven.
Beethoven.
Lassie.
Or that film. Do you know what? I watched a film when I was a kid about this. It wasn't Cujo. It was this other. It was called Man's Best Friend, and it was about a St. Bernard that goes mental and starts killing people. It was like one of those really odd beat. Right, this podcast is going off into very odd tangent. Yeah, guys, if you're listening to the podcast and you want to add anything or talk to us on Twitter, please do send us a tweet at xgenpodcast1, and you can also send us an email if you're into that sort of thing at xgenpodcast@gmail.com. Please do send us some stuff. I would love to have a chat and find out what you guys think of the podcast and just of what we're talking about. Do you like Mario? Do you think he's all right? Do you think he's not all right, like me and Evan? Somebody please agree with us, because at the moment it's 50-50. Guys, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening. And we shall... well, I've codged that up.
It was going so well.
Thank you very much for listening. It was going so well. Thank you very much for listening. Guys, good day to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.